everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a fun little twist on a recommendation video that I wanted to do. I have done a fair few recommendation videos in my time on this lovely app of ours, but I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit today and ask my friends what they would recommend. Because one, I am very fantasy centered on my channel. Hello if you're new, hi. Very fantasy centered if you couldn't tell by my shelves right here. But my friends are all avid readers of other genres, and funnily enough, I've curated them all through my university program that I was in a few years ago. They're all readers. So it's a great time to have the group chat just be all readers. So I'm excited. I've asked them each for 3 recommendations, whether that is in their favorite genre or, you know, something that they think other people would really like, or, you know, top 3 that they would be like, if someone just asked them for recommendations, what would they be? Okay, so I have Goodreads open in front of me on my computer, and we're gonna go through this because sometimes my friends only give me titles, so I need to know what the author's name is. Anyways, we're gonna start with Sophia, my lovely friend Sophia. Also, my friends that are doing stuff and have online presences, I will leave in the down bar down below. I won't leave their personal TikToks or anything like that, but I will leave their stuff if they are doing stuff online in the down bar down below, so you guys can go check them out because my friends are awesome and they're all doing great things. But anyway, Sophia is awesome. She loves romance. She's a very, very avid reader. Like, she's super avid reader. I think she's read almost like 150 books plus this year. I don't know. Sophia is a romance-centered book talker if you are at all interested in her stuff. She loves spice. She loves that kind of stuff. But when I came out and asked her for recommendations today, she gave me some interesting answers. And I was expecting more of her romance side to come out, but instead she gave me these 3. So we have, first up, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, as we all well know on the book internet. She says she loved this one so much because it follows, if you don't know, it follows the life of Evelyn Hugo, who is a Hollywood starlet at this point in time, and it's chronicled through the 7 husbands that she has, including another relationship in there that is queer, and it is, you know, chronicling her life through that. Sophia really liked it because of the representation. Even though the author herself is not Latinx, it's good representation for having a Cuban main character, which Evelyn Hugo is, and it also had lovely bisexual representation as well, and it made her cry. So that is why Sophia recommends it. Second one is People We Met on Vacation, which is honestly shocking to me because when you ask most people about their Emily Henry favorites, People We Met on Vacation is at the very bottom. Honestly, most of my friends would put it at the very bottom. So I'm very intrigued that Sophia picked this one. And her reasoning is that it is the first Friends to Lovers book that she has read that is actually hit. And Emily Henry, as we all know, is well known for her complex characters and a little bit more of a hard-hitting analysis in her books. Maybe not necessarily Book Lovers, her most recent one, but Beach Read definitely is more of an analysis and that kind of stuff. And Sophia really enjoyed the analysis of like loneliness and family, and just, she really liked it and it really hit for her, so she recommends that one. She also recommends, she just kind of said any Tessa Bailey, but specifically Love Her or Lose Her, or Tools of Engagement, I think, but we're gonna talk about Love Her or Lose Her. This one, I know that Sophia absolutely loves Tessa Bailey because they are very spicy and very good, but they are also the kind of romance books that aren't only just spice. They have a lot of plot backing them, in Sophia's opinion, and she really quite liked the characters, and it makes her feel so many things, and she says that it also made her cry. I think that was the main thing for these 3 books, was that it made her feel things and it made her cry. So you know what? On my channel, we're here for vibes and we're here for books that make us cry. So thank you, Sophia, for these recommendations. All right, let's do Tessa next. Tessa is a lovely friend of mine. She is also the one who did the art of my end screen, if you are at all interested who that is. My lovely friend Tessa did that, and her information will be in the down bar as well. She is so talented and so wonderful, but she came at this a little bit differently because she said that most of her recommendations are very similar to what I would recommend. So she went at this in a different way. Like, Tessa is a big purveyor of our homegirl Tamsin Muir, for example, and she said that that would be her recommendation, would just be the Locked Tomb series. So she went at this and recommended some manga that she's really enjoyed recently, and these are her like S-tier mangas that she absolutely loves and thinks people should read. So first up we have Witch Hat Atelier. Atelier? I don't know how to actually say that word. Atelier? This is by Kamomi Shirahama. This is specifically a manga about a young girl named Coco who gets thrown into the world of witches to save her mother, and it's apparently very cute and wholesome. Very good, and it's like an ongoing series of manga as well. Tessa also recommends Spy X Family. I'm not entirely sure if you say Spy and Family or Spy X Family, but there you go. And the author for this one is Tatsuya Endo, and I believe Casey Lowe is the translator, so that's very fun. This one specifically, she said, just imagine the chaos of a dad being a spy, a mom being an assassin, and a daughter being a telepath. So that just honestly really appeals to me, and I've never read any manga in my life, but I just might. That one sounds really, really good. It sounds very cute. I love it. And the last one that she recommends is Blue Period, which is by Tsubasa Yamaguchi. I think that's how you say it. And this one, it follows a teenage boy who suddenly discovers a love for art and his struggle. So this is more of a hard-hitting manga, because I know there's a lot of hard-hitting mangas out there. But again, this is another series. I think all three of them were firsts of series that she's really enjoyed. So yeah, there's some manga recommendations. Something that you've never found on my channel ever, but thank you, Tessa, for your recommendations. We're gonna do Alexander next. Alexander recommends 3 different kind of books as well. His are all queer and trans focused. So we have the first one here, which is A Safe Girl to Love. I believe it's by Casey Plett. Yes, Casey Plett. And I think once he mentioned it in the group chat, my other friend SJ came in and said that they're apparently republishing this very soon, because the old publisher who had originally published this went under, and I believe one of our local publishers is picking it up, which is really fun. But this one felt to him like a hug when he needed it the most, like when he was first coming out as trans, which was really, really lovely. So that is one of them. The next one is Rebent Sinner, which is by Ivan E. Coyote. And apparently, according to Alexander, that this is anything by Ivan E. Coyote really is a recommendation. And this one specifically is required reading for queer people. So I'm just looking at the Goodreads right now, and I believe Ivan Coyote is one of North America's preeminent storytellers and performers. They are the author, co-author, or co-editor of 11 previous books, and their TED Talk has received over 1.6 million views online. And the last one that he recommends is Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is another one that a lot of us in the group chat absolutely love. We love Casey McQuiston. It is a recommendation because he just loves it, because it's very cute and very gay and very sweet. And in my recommendation, it's a very well-written story. I love it. Love Casey McQuiston. Okay, let's do Yeleni next. Yeleni recommends, first up, The Bodyguard, which is a story that I don't really know anything about. This is The Bodyguard by Katherine Center, which is a cute romance or rom-com. Oh, it's got like, I'm reading the little snippet on the thing. So our girl is an executive protection agent, aka bodyguard, and she just got hired to protect superstar actor Jack Stapleton from his middle-aged corgi breeding stalker. That sounds really fun. Yeah, Yeleni recommends it because it's very cute. It's a happily ever after ending. It's very fun, and apparently there is a very satisfying cheating storyline in this, so love that for this. And it's one of the romances, and my friend Yeleni reads a lot of romances, and so she has a lot of opinions about them, so the ones that she recommends are very good. The next one that she recommends is The Witches Abroad by Terry Pratchett. This is one of his, I believe, let me see which number it is in the Witches trilogy, or Witches section it is. It's Witches number 3. Okay, so this is one of the Witches books in Terry Pratchett's Discworld. If you know anything about Terry Pratchett's Discworld, you can read them out of order and it's fine. So this is one that she recommends because apparently it's very funny and it's very quintessential Pratchett, which is a very good spot to, you know, try out some Terry Pratchett in your life. I myself don't love Terry Pratchett, but a lot of people really enjoy his stuff. And it's got like the, I don't know, it's got like quirky, very British humor, and it's just, I don't know. The world building is interesting, the characters are always interesting, there's always interesting situations going on in these books. And the last one she recommends is Split Tooth by Tanya Tagak. This is a book that we actually read in university that Yeleni went on and wrote a paper that won like an award or something about, and she loves this book, and she had me read it. I don't know if you guys have been around for a while on my channel, but it was in one of my friends picked my TBR. I think it was in Pick My TBR number 3. I think it was this year sometime, where I read Split Tooth as she picked it for me to read. And I myself didn't really super love it. It's not really my cup of tea of what I like to read because of the actual like formatting and stuff going on, because it's a little bit multimedia. It's got poems, prose, and images. But the whole experience of the book is very visceral. And Yeleni says it's like a psychedelic wild experience, but it is very important as well. If you guys don't know, Tanya Tagaq is a throat singer, and she has a lot of, I think she has her music on Spotify, but she's done like performances and spoken word poetry and stuff like that in her performances. So she's a very, very lyrically, I don't know how to explain her writing, but her writing is very lyrically done, and it's almost like you can hear it spoken aloud, which is very interesting. So she recommends Tanya Tagaq. All right, we're gonna do Sophie next. Sophie recommends 3 books that she says that all do something very interesting with story or the form, especially the first 2, which are Dead Collections, which I do not remember the name of the author. I need to be more on top of my life. I believe it's by Isaac Fellman. Dead Collections, which says it's a whirlwind romance between an eccentric archivist and a grieving widow that explores what it means to be at home in your own body in this clever, humorous, and heartfelt novel. And I believe Sophie also said that all these stories do something that you were not expecting at all. Like, it goes in a completely different direction, and it just is a very interesting analysis on storytelling as well. And the next one as well is Devil House, does the same kind of a thing, which I believe Devil House by John Darnielle is a horror book. Yeah, it's a horror fiction mystery thing, which is interesting. It has like a true crime writer at the heart of it, that kind of a thing. But again, does something interesting with form and story. And the last one is The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. This one as well does something really interesting with story. And I believe Sophie said that this one she ended up talking about in therapy with her therapist about, because it was just that affecting on her. So there you go. There you go. I don't actually know if this is a fiction book. No, this is nonfiction. So this is the one nonfiction on this list. One of two nonfictions on this entire recommendations list. So there you go. It's like more of a memoir biography type of situation. Then we have my lovely friend SJ, who recommends blanketed term some weird sci-fi. she said in the chat, they're more vibey books, less plot and, less plot driven. Each of them kind of deal with race and gender and bodies in a really interesting way. And so she recommends The Tiger Flu by Larissa Lai. This is a book about a community of parthenogenic women that have been sent into exile by a male-dominated saltwater city, which goes to war against disease, technology, and powerful men that threaten them with extinction. So it's, again, big, drastic, sweeping themes, but it is more vibey than plot-driven. She also recommends Dawn by Octavia E. Butler. Again, kind of a weird sci-fi look at, some more existential sci-fi, I kind of want to say. It is post-apocalyptic and alien, and again, just like does some interesting stuff with race, gender, and I believe Octavia E. Butler is kind of known for doing stuff like that with her work as well, so she recommends Dawn. And the last one she recommends is The Seep, which is one of the more recent ones that I've seen around, by Chena Porter. This one is about a trans woman whose life is irreversibly altered in the wake of a gentle but nonetheless world-changing invasion by an alien entity calling itself The Seep. It says here that it's a society where capitalism fails and hierarchies and barriers are broken down, and if something can be imagined, it is possible, which is kind of an interesting pitch. Goodreads, 10 out of 10 pitch. So again, it's just like an interesting vibey novel that Eshe really liked. And last on this lovely list, I have my friend Hannah. Hannah recommends our second nonfiction, first with The Anthropocene Reviewed by our lovely friend John Green. We love him. And she says that this is his best book by far, which I think a lot of people feel. I know, like, when I was a teenager, I absolutely loved his books, but now going back to it as an adult, they are not as great as his brother's books. His brother's books are just exceptional. But the Anthropocene Reviewed is a collection of essays on the human experience and what it really means to be human. So like kind of one of the main themes across all these books that my friends have recommended is kind of like what it means to be human, and like an analysis on, you know, gender, race, bodies, and politics and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting. It kind of has a through line, even though we are spanning many different genres and even medias in this. But yeah, so she absolutely loves the Anthropocene Reviewed. And then she also recommends Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which is a more, I want to say, speculative type of book. Emily St. John Mandel is a very, very popular Canadian author. Station 11 specifically tells the story of a Hollywood star, his would-be savior, a nomadic group of actors that are roaming around the scattered outposts of the Great Lakes region, risking everything for art and humanity. So it is, Hannah says that it's sort of about a pandemic, but mostly about what it means to be human, which, you know, you can never go wrong with a book like that. Truly. And I believe Station 11 was also recently made into a TV show. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I think there's a TV show about Station 11 now. Anyways, the last one that she recommends is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. This is a weird sci-fi, again, that Hannah specifically has pitched as sensual sci-fi with big thoughts on gender. So again, we're bringing in the gender conversation. This is an older piece of sci-fi. I believe this was originally published in the 60s. I find sci-fi such an interesting genre to pick from. To me, these kind of connect with like Dawn by Octavia E. Butler a little bit, but I could be entirely wrong. I haven't read any of these books. I've read a few of them that my friends are recommending, but a lot of them I have not read. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should make a video out of it. Friends, reading books that my friends recommend. But Left Hand of Darkness tells the story of a lone human emissary to Winter, an alien world whose inhabitants can choose and change their gender. This human's goal is to facilitate Winter's inclusion in a growing intergalactic civilization, but to do so, he must bridge the gulf between his own views and those of the completely dissimilar culture that he encounters. So, kind of a different take on the alien story where the human is going to the aliens rather than the aliens come to humans. So interesting. But yes, my friends, those are all the books that my friends recommend to you, to my viewers. Those are the books that they think people should read and why. And we've had a smattering of stuff. We've had some romance, we've had some sneaking in fantasy, we've had a lot of speculative fiction, some literary fiction, some horrors thrown in, and some manga from my lovely friend Tessa, a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I was going to do a recommendation at the end from myself, but I really couldn't think of anything that I haven't recommended a lot on my channel. So let me see if I can do rapid fire recommendations for you. All right, so my three are ones that I've not really talked about a whole lot on my channel. First one is a heist fantasy like Six of Crows that I think actually does a lot of things better than Six of Crows, and it is more gritty and it is more adult than Six of Crows, and it is Among Thieves by MJ Kuhn. This is very good, very snappy, does the heist stuff that I love, and has a lot more intricacies in the issues of the people in this crime syndicate, if you will. I really liked this. I think everyone should read it. It's very good. Another one that I'm going to recommend is an N.K. Jemisin that a lot of people don't talk about. I really enjoy the 5th season. That seems to be the one that most people talk about more, but I'm recommending The City We Became because this was actually I believe my first N.K. Jemisin. I really, really enjoyed this. It has such an interesting twisty take on like the invasion narrative and parallel universes narrative set in a New York City that is embodied in the people of New York City and a couple people in across all the five? Oh God. I don't know how many boroughs there are in all of the boroughs of New York. And it is such an interesting look. And the sequel just was released, and it, I believe, is a duology, so it's fantastic. Also, the audiobook for this, really, really good. But yeah. And the last one I'm going to recommend today is a novella that I really, really, really like. I think it's my favorite novella that I've ever read, and that is Spear by Nicola Griffith. This is a gender-bent queer story about Camelot. It's about a specific story about someone named Peritar, and his name comes up in myths changed a lot. His name is never really the same in a lot of the stories. In here, our main character's named Peritar, and it's that kind of story about the him and the Lady of the Lake. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. It's so beautifully written and I absolutely adore it. And y'all know I'm just a whore for Arthurian retellings. I love it so much. But oh gosh, it's beautiful. I love it so much. Oh my god, there's drawings in here? No way. Hold on. Hold the phone. Illustrations. I listened to this on audiobooks. I didn't know there was an illustration in here. Oh, so cool. Anyways, my friends, that is my recommendation video for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know down below if you have any recommendations as well, or if you are going to take any of the recommendations that my friends have given. Thank you to my lovely friends for participating in this video and helping me out. Anyways, my friends, I will catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.